Now let us see what is the type of time scale that is required to do Vedic studies. For example, a student joins a Paatashaalas. The normal course is for a period of 7 to 8 years. There could be minor differences in the curriculum, but the general things that are normally learnt as we gathered from a Vadyar in Paatashaalas is in about 7 to 8 years. First, they start with simple areas from Brahmanam or Aranyam, then complete the entire Samhita, Brahmanam and Aranyam. Then they have to come to the Padapadam and Kramapadam for Samhita. But it is not that they teach only the Vedic text. There are often classes that are conducted on Sastras, Karma Vidhi, that is how to conduct rituals, and some of the major sutras which give such procedures. They give proper references to it so that the student grasps the subject well. Then every day, normally in the evening, they have to learn lot of slokas, Sahasranama, other mantras, which will be used as a supplement in various ceremonies and functions. So there is a lot of preparatory work that really goes on. Side by side, when they come to Padapada, the basic grammar rules also get covered. When all these are done, there will be an examination. The examination is really very tough, which tests the mental capabilities and the memory power of the student. For example, a student for passing an exam will be randomly asked to recite 250 padams from the Samhita. It could be randomly selected by somebody even choosing a number that matches with the Kandam, Prashnam, Anuvakam or the Panchati numbers. Then, in addition, he has to recite from Brahmanam or Aranyam 150 words. The word may have one or more padams because there is no padapadam for Brahmanam and Aranyam. The toughness is that if a student makes a mistake and doesn't correct it immediately, or he stammers, forgets the flow twice during the recital, he will be asked to reappear for the examination. Normally, these examinations are conducted by external examiners visiting a Paatashaalas or the students visiting another major Paatashaalas or an Vedic institute where it is like neutral external pandits would conduct their examination. Next is, if they start at the age of say 8, by the time they finish it, they would be either 15 or 16. Now, the issue is whether they want to pursue further Jatapata, then it is likely to take anywhere between 1.5 to 2 years. Then Ganapata, which will again take another 1.5 to 2 years. Varnakrama, which is to become thorough, it may again take somewhere between 18 to 24 months, that is 1.5 to 2 years. This could vary depending on the ability of the student. The teacher teaches certain portions in Jeta, and if the padams are not difficult, the student should play back in his mind and try and generate the data himself. The student who takes up the normal recital Vedic portion, it may take something like 8 plus 6, 14 years to 15 years to complete and become a Ganapati. But this cannot happen when a student is very young. Therefore, students start and learn the normal course, complete the course of 8 years, take a break and attend special course for Varnakrama, Jatapada and Ganapata. But we have seen very young Paatashaalas students continuing them and getting the title of Ganapati by the age of 22 to 23. That is also very common. Now, these exams are very tough to pass. So, many people would think, why I cannot become a Vedic priest? Why I can't do that, this? These are the kind of questions normally you would see. Imagine a student has to just study 15 years nearly to reach a certain level. It is not only that. On karmas, that is ceremonies, he always accompanies a senior pandit. He has to learn all the procedures, observe thoroughly. So it takes not just the memorization and reading. Looking at the ceremonies, what kind of mantras are applied, he would have been taught the significance of the mantras and take them all together. Now, in those days, you did not have centers of excellence for Veda learning. Kashi was a very famous place. Maybe there were few other places that are available for higher studies in Vedas. That is one of the reasons there is a Kashi Yatra that is held as a part of the marriage. Kashi also means, for some, in a philosophical interpretation, freedom. That means the student, after passing the basic minimum qualification, he wants to take up sannyas. A brahmachari can take sannyas directly as per our shastras, but not a grahastha. But to marry and follow the grahasthastrama, that is to play the role of a householder, is also important to learn all the worldly affairs. Therefore, the starting of a Kashi Yatra is symbolic that the student wants to pursue sannyasa, but sannyasa is not for everybody. So, majority of us should become grahastha. That is one of the reasons the bridegroom is stopped from going for the Kashi Yatra, and he is promised the girl to start his grahasthasrama. There is very clear-cut understanding in good old days. For example, somebody is studying Veda, the student is doing extremely well. The guru will know his limitations and what are the areas student can learn further. Normally, the guru will give a letter of recommendation or recommend the student to another institution or another bigger Veda Paatashaalas or reputed ones after the student completes its study. Now, it is not necessarily that a Vedic student takes up further studies in Veda like Jadapada, Ganapada, Varnakrama and all that. Some of them would like to take specialization in grammar, Vyakarana. That kind of studies may take maybe up to 12 years. That's what I was told. Very, very advanced. Then he could take up a study of Chandas, or he can specialize in Sastras, Puranas, or other literature normally called Kavyas also in addition. So, to become, say, you want to enter IIT, you go through a schooling, you do your 12th, write a common tough entrance examination that makes you eligible. A Vedic student is supposed to have highest standards. Therefore, this 15-16 years of study are really important and formative for the student to conduct his life, help others conduct ceremony, and also understand the significance of the ceremonies, mantras very practically over a period of time. Normally, Jadabadi or a Ganabadi may not be practicing the Jada or Gana quite often. Therefore, to revise and stay current and keep the subject in control, often there will be Jada Sadas, Gana Sadas at specific places during important festival times. Sadas means normally an assembly. Similarly, full kramam of Samhita may not also be taken up quite often. Nowadays, we find a practice to recite the complete Samhita Kramam during Kritika Mandala Parayana. One of my friend who is from Nurni in Palakkad, in Nurni they recite one prashnam every day and complete the 44 prashnams during the December period during their Shasta Priti. So we are also trying to get some feedback from the followers of those Samhita Kramapada. Next is, if the Paatashaalas is conducted by a Shivacharya who is more into looking at Agama Vidhi, that is the Vidhi for how the temples are constructed, how they have to be consecrated, how the pujas will have to be done, then the portions and the curriculum will be slightly different. In Tamil Nadu, it is customary to teach all the students in this type of Paatashaalas Tamil Veda. The parts like Devaram, Tiruvasakam and many other holy works which we term as the Tamil Vedas. So there will be a slight difference when a student studies his course in Paatashaalas conducted by Shivacharyas teaching Agama Vidhis.